Good evening from Emotika. My name is Irina, and on Mondays we're talking with different people about different topics what concerns soft skills. And today we have our guest Loreta. Hi, Loreta.
Hello, Irina. Hello,
And
everyone.
our topic is quite intriguing today, and the name is Own Your Own Energy Every Day, meaning that it is some kind of a constant process of being aware of your energy and actually making it your friend, something that helps you rather than drags you down. So I am very excited to hear more about it from Loreta. But first of all, Loreta, can you say a few words about yourself?
Again, hello. Well, few words about myself as I say that I'm a lifelong student at the moment who is in coaching and who is lecturing right now for students, and also doing interesting projects what interests me and also helps others to succeed basically. So that's why you know doing and putting interest is more about putting energy because energy is contagious, and these days time is limited basically. So so yeah, I am more a person who is a life learning student, and at the same time consultant and coach, helping others to succeed and be one step self-confident basically.
Mm-hmm. When you say energy, Loreta, let's come to a common ground. When you say energy, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's always a good question. For some people, energy is 2 cups of coffee every day. For some people, it's just waking up, having a good morning routine, maybe reading at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. club people. Maybe for some, just to go into cold water. Or maybe for someone, energy is to uplift someone by giving a compliment or giving a gratitude. So to me, energy is the ability to do the work. Would it be a mental work? Would it be a physical work? Would it be emotional work? Or even that work, that brings you every day to the purpose? Yeah, because from that holistic point of view, sometimes energy is just something uncountable. You can't feel it, but when you
Mm-hmm.
look at the person's body, you say, yeah, this person has a lot of energy. Maybe, but maybe you look for a little bit weaker, slimmer person. You say, no, that person doesn't have energy. But at the end, they both have energy, and we have energy every single day. But the the idea is how we manage our energy.
And what about this, just to understand a broader perspective from your point of view, like time, we have the same amount, everybody, regardless, anything, every day. What about energy? Is it also like some kind of an amount that we all have, but some of us, we know how to connect to it and others don't, or it's not something we can measure at all?
Right. It comes to that understanding that we have 24 hours. Yes, and every hour, if we put as an energy bar, every single hour drops out. And at the end of the day, if we are putting a lot of investment into doing work, meeting people, talking, or maybe just sitting in front of computer, our energy drops because it's connected with our mental capacity, and our mental capacity is connected with our physical endurance, and also that connected with our emotional well-being. So yes, we have limited time, but energy we can raise or we can put down is just like a measurement. And nobody else actually can measure you. You can measure only yourself
Mhm.
by feeling. Are you drained? Are you happy? Are you in that state that you can do more work? But that requires a deliberate practice to look at the specific components through whole day, how you live your day, how you start your day, how you finish your day. It's all about not whys at the moment, but hows, because those hows makes you, feel stronger, not only physically stronger.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned already like different levels: physical, mental, emotional. So those are the levels we have to be aware when we talk about energy. Can you say more about that? Like different types, or how to call it,
Mm,
different categories?
yeah, you did good. Yes, we have four reservoirs. I am a fan of Tony Schwartz, who just back in 2007 wrote an article in Harvard Business Review about manage energy no time. And I was so fascinated about that research, and it went to different companies, how they helping people, to look at different levels that I will mention in a moment, to help people, grow, and actually grow not only personally but organizationally as well, because everyone wants to have a fit organization. And fit
Mm-hmm.
organization, in terms not only physically but in terms of other parameters, they also every organization want to have inspired, empowered people who are thriving and are happy. So those four levels are physical. Yes, how you feel, how you maintain yourself. Emotional, how you connect to others, basically, and how you connect to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mental, how you put your focus and attention, how you manage your time. And last one, it's called spiritual. But in this term, spiritual, authors, they put the meaning there. It's about purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual like a purpose, how you are devoted to your work, what legacy do you want to live in the world, what do you want to leave behind you. It's not only concerned the work, it's concerned you, what makes you happy, so you are giving back to society, to organization or other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And organization consists of people, right? So if we have people who are um, taking care of those levels personally, then we have a group of people, team of people that makes a fit organization, right? So this like resilience on organizational level is very much related to personal level of the people that are in.
Yes, indeed, and yourself as a consultant, you greatly know that how I'm feeling, it totally corresponds to my results, and also it corresponds how I am moving forward. And in teams or companies, or depending how big is that, basically in a team environment, our quality of work, quality of the relationship, basically. Yes, people are those social beings that need to, interact daily. It doesn't matter, are you programming or you are a salesperson? We all share the energy. We can feel the person who comes to you. Oh, he or she is so warm. It's interesting to have, a business or just to have a talk, and with that invisible matter that we have. Only if we, for example, on a physical level, if we're taking care of ourselves, like what we eat, not only what we eat, but how we eat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when we eat, so this these routines builds our kind of stamina, that we respect ourselves. And the first and basically that fundamental is come back to ourselves and give a credit for who I am, basically, and take those first steps of self-care. That's why I also talking a lot about self-care.
Mm.
Self-care, like also for me, number one, it became sleeping. You know, the big issue is sleeping. And long time ago, I've been, very much into that sense, saying like, when you die, then you will sleep as long
Rest.
as you want. At the end of the day, we see so many dead people right now walking in the offices, producing services, yeah, uninspired, unengaged, and they are still working and working and working. So that's not a case. That's not a case. So sleeping to to feel our body as that first capacity of the energy, we need to restore that. And definitely today, I've been at the bookstore, and new book by uh, just Sally McCormack, I think that's her book about will. She wrote a
Mhm.
new book about movement, how movement can change your life for better, for smarter decisions. Because every day moving, our neurons in our brain makes a lot of new synapses, new neurons are coming, and that's how we become more not only resilient on that case, but we become more creative. We want to do something, and that's why on a physical level, yes, movement comes after good sleep, after proper food. Yes, we need to move this machine, this body, basically. Yeah.
So this already sounds like first steps, what to take into consideration. But give us some, some tips and tricks on if it sounds, I'm listening and it sounds good. Like I'm thinking, wow, yeah, I should take better care of myself. How to start? What to do? Maybe you have some, some suggestions on those four different levels. What should we consider, or what should we do, or how should we start thinking about it or raising questions?
I do remember that time when I was totally drained off, and our body is so clever that it sends signals that something is not wrong. Maybe with your stomach, maybe you have, headache, maybe one side or another side has a hurting feeling, and that brings you, unpleasant feelings, anxiety, anger, and everything then comes in other rows. Poor relationships, can't make things working, sense of purpose is gone, and one scenario, another scenario, you keep going and going, you are achiever, high performer, 10% left, I need to beat it, not 100%, but 110, and I'm in competition with others, I need to close this quarter, results matters, I need to break down the record because, I need to make those money, and that's it, and I'm just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and one day we are collapsing. So this is two scenarios. But in the middle, there is that way that always pauses us. Pauses us. I am deliberately, quite consciously saying pauses, not stops, because
Mhm.
when we are stopping, we're not alive anymore. We just like a vegetable. Or when we have a pause, and if we consciously take that into consideration, we can make a small change, and that change is maybe for some people will work that out. uh, you know it's sleep. Yes, definitely, it's a sleep as much as you can, because your body throughout the sleeping takes out all the toxins. It regenerates the information, it stores what is needed, and then flushes out what is needed, and then start walking. Walking
Mm.
is the best therapy, without any headsets, nothing. Just go to the nature. That's why so many people started to walk. Yeah, that's a beautiful sensation, putting all five senses, and this is what we've forgotten in that very, very demanding workspace. So for me, there was a time, and I also was coaching people on that. I started so-called converse coaching. Basically, it's coaching conversation while walking. And I need to just ask two or three questions, and all the answers came out. So of course, I was testing before with myself numerous times, and it went this way. Before I was going for a walk for half an hour, maybe 45 minutes or 1 hour, I was putting, a question that I want to receive a solution, a tip, from environment or whatever, and I was just, bringing out and just, let's see who will catch it, and I'm going my way without thinking constantly about the solution.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a matter of time. When I was coming back, I was already having the idea. Or if the idea was not coming during the walk, the idea was coming after the walk. But I had this, idea, solution, or something that I can move on. So yeah, so those people who are still looking for the solutions, this is the amazing, opportunity to experience yourself. And then you get back your creativity because you walk. You get back on your senses because you're again becoming alive. You're coming back mentally because you are focused, you know what you need to do, and you are relaxed. The best solution comes when we are relaxed. Do you agree with me,
Yes,
Irina?
yes, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
It's
that's why.
when you're trying to achieve some results, even in on a physical level in sports. Actually, everything is happening when after the um, like the exercise. When you are relaxed, then the muscle is getting what it needs. Not while you're trying, but when you finally relax, then the thing is happening. The process is happening. Yeah.
Yeah. So simple walk is just the first step towards new ideas coming in. But also, as I say, you need or I need to be soft on myself. I need to be kind on myself. And it's a learning. And it's a path to learn how to be a kind for self, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Mm. Okay, so we we all should start with those basic needs, right? Like sleep, food, physical
Mm,
activity, because that's the base. We can try to run away from that, but we are human beings, and that is our basic needs.
yes, and it brings us to safety. When we talk about this, and I also quite how to say soft on that. Nobody should do, but but give you one chance to go for a walk, and just put yourself, if that is uncomfortable to you, just put yourself and have the experience.
Mhm.
Because I'm saying walking, and I'm not saying go for meditating. I have numerous people in my circles that they say, Loreta, I know meditation is good, but I don't know how to do that. I can't sit for 5 minutes at all. Well, it's fine. Maybe it's not the time for you, but you go for a walk. Or there is also walking meditation, but you just start walk, So that's it. So because physically it's easier to accept walking, that concept, just be still and don't think about nothing. it,
Yeah.
it takes time. It takes time.
And what you're saying, it's best to give this time for yourself without additional content like podcasts, audiobooks, music. Like just be mindful about your walk and your senses, and just have the experience.
Yes. So that's why, own your energy every day is about reminding yourself about those senses. not only eating, sleeping, and so on, but also the sense is about seeing, connecting, talking to others, listening. Well, that's a sense, what others are saying and what you say. That comes, connection between people, and also that inner dialogue that I have with myself, what kind of words I'm saying. It's also so important, owning the energy, energy as that capacity that drives us to do something. I
Mm-hmm.
can be sitting here with you and think, oh my god, I am terrible, I'm miserable, and what I say that shapes me, and also on another hand, it might be, I can't always say a good things to ourselves. It can be you become a little bit maybe different minded, but we need to say good things. We really need to say good things to ourselves. Who else will tell me that I am good? That's why a lot of perfectionists are in this world, and that's why somebody gives you a compliment, sometimes it's very hard in our society to accept the compliment. Yeah, yeah, it was easy. No, man, it was not easy.
What is your suggestion, on this topic? Like how to receive compliments? What would you suggest for person who really says because I truly have people around me, like you say thank you, and the person says, oh, no problem, like, oh, for what, like, but
Mhm,
not actually receiving and taking credit for yourself, but just
mhm. Well, I would say, just it will come now from you to take a moment and say, hey, by saying that it was not a problem, I thinking about you, how much time you have devoted to complete this solution or to do this work. It's about time and your energy that you put, and I really acknowledge you for that. And just, be open to receive this energy, because also I'm giving energy to you, and tapping on the shoulder saying, yeah, it's well done. So I also had this kind of conversation with people, and then there is that moment, that kind of pause and like, oh yeah, you are right. Sometimes, we need to be nicely, be those, how to say, puppies that come and look at you and say, hey, I am here for you to be more gentle with yourself.
Mm.
Does that help to you?
Yeah, it's a good point. Like, from that perspective, that when we are in the relationship with somebody, like whatever conversation, and if I can do something to invite a person to be more aware, then I do it, because I could just, see that the person didn't receive it, and I know, didn't receive, didn't want to, his problem, and move on. But a different scenario would be, just as you say, to stop for a moment and say, hey, I really acknowledge what you did, and I just really want to say thank you. So
Yeah.
just let's stop for a moment, because really this is important what you did, and well done. So, just this awareness stops. And next time, maybe that person, will remember, maybe not next time, maybe in 10 times, but at some point we add up to this bigger awareness. Yeah.
Yes, and that's how it's connected, from this emotional connection, it's connected, as I mentioned, to the spiritual or a purpose. Yeah, that makes us also that we helped someone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit selfish, but all of us are selfish, right?
Yeah.
However, still it makes sense. Okay, I'm putting an effort. It makes sense to me, and I want to help others. So basically, own your energy every day, Well, it's sometimes it's a kind of constant running tape, as hygiene, or how you call it, or energy management, in other terms as well, because we are managing that. What we say, what we listen, what we see, what we read, how we react, you know, and all this small workouts, I would say, or mini workouts that we do daily, they they puts into the energy management system. We don't need to use everything every day, but when
Mm,
it comes on a regular basis, it's just our routines, and it helps. And of course, everything can't be implemented at once.
yeah.
Sleeping, eating, movement, we can be excited, but we know how long motivation can last. Very, not very long, basically.
Do you have an example of some kind of a routine that maybe from your personal experience or from people you're working with, uh, I know, morning routine or evening or whatever routine for productivity, like something that works that you find valuable?
Well, on a physical level, so to say, if I go through all four levels that also there are on the module that we have here, for me, it's important every day to do stretches for my body, basically
Hmm.
to stretch that my bones and joints are moving, breathing exercises, some meditation. So this is what on a bigger or smaller capacity I do daily, just to move my my body, basically. And then on emotional level, I actually every day do a gratitude practice, in the
Hmm.
morning and every evening. I'm already doing quite for some time, and it was at the beginning I was writing, but now I am more, I have a special ritual that I'm having, and I'm just doing in this way how I'm doing. But basically, it's a gratitude. On a mental, I still am a student, as I said. Sometimes I'm better, sometimes worse, but still, putting one thing on a time. Less multitasking. So I
Hmm.
also dropped out this trend from my dictionary and from my personal management, that multitasking, no. And on my, that purpose or meaning, that you know every day I can be better by doing something, or helping others, or listening, or giving a question, or maybe writing, or connecting to others. Yeah, so this is how it goes. Looks simple, but it requires a practice. It just requires a practice.
Yeah, it's just a whole new habits. Very simple, but I truly believe that simple is genius. We sometimes are looking for some big models, complicated, that finally will click and do something, but very often
Yeah, and
change happen when you come down to the ground and start doing little steps every day, and it leads to bigger change.
yeah, and you know yourself, as you are consultant, when people say, so give me some important tip where I need to start, and you start, okay, this is the basics, that, yeah, I know that, but are you doing this? Without these basics, even though you heard 1,000 times and you're not doing, it's still the basics that you need to manage. And I also getting sometimes up to the face the same thing, when others telling to me the same, Loreta, that's the basics. You need to first manage the basics, and then you move to the next level. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's the hardest thing, I would say.
Yeah, and I just have one question that is spinning in my mind. Like, we really live in this environment that it's a knowledge environment. We can get whatever knowledge very easily, and read and listen, and to know and know more and know even more. But as you say, it's by doing that things happen, not by knowing. But when mind is so strong and so eager to know, what would be your maybe technique or advice, or I know, just tip, how to stop this mind a little bit, how to to come to a more centered state when I feel that my my
Brain
mind
is
is going
cluttering.
crazy.
Yeah. I also find myself in a few projects on the same line, and for me it helped breathing, basically
Mm,
breathing. Breathing, breathe in, breathe out, basically. Yes. Or go for a walk. Again,
mm,
go for a walk. Again, it's a simple. Otherwise, extra 2 cups of coffees won't help you. It will explore your brain in a way, not like literally, but you will explore, and then you would know where to focus mostly, or just allocate time, like this famous technique, Pomodoro. Just put the time, you know 30 minutes this case, 30 minutes that case, and you put yourself accountable to yourself. So it's from the mental that point of view, being strict. Maybe
mm,
you can hold that for one day. Still, it will be the result. Mostly of us are result oriented people. you know so
mm.
so yeah so
Discipline.
yeah, to conclude, learn to breathe, because we forget to breathe, basically. We just forget, and when you say, can you feel your breath? What? I'm breathing. Yes, you're breathing right now. And we just forget about this totally.
Mm. And that is the easiest technique for stress management, relaxing, and it's right here, but
Yes, and it is for free, by the way. It's for
good
free.
point.
Yes, and we pay money, to learn that, but basically it's free.
Yeah, to we pay money to some master to come and tell us that, look, under your nose
Yeah, yeah,
you actually have it all. So I
yeah.
just want to remind everybody who's watching that Loreta created a module in the Emotika app, Own Your Energy Every Day, and that's where you can find a lot more about those four, how do you call it, dimensions.
Four
Mm.
reservoirs, like tanks.
Okay, four tanks of energy, and how to manage it, and what can you do, where to start, and a lot more. So it's on Emotica app already. If you're interested,
Yeah.
you can find it there. And Loreta, thank you so much for our talk. I just want, maybe there's something that I haven't asked that you wanted to mention that is important in this topic.
Yeah. Uh, well, I would say about this module that is not only me talking, but also people doing something. There are some materials from not only my created. There is already a lot of material that I have adapted for people to measure and observe themselves. And when we observe ourselves, sometimes we are very proud of the results. And at the end of the day, I would say, yeah, start with as well. If you don't like walking, start with a gratitude. Just 3 people that you are grateful for a moment, or 3 things that you are grateful at the end of the day. And you will go warm and nicely to sleep, and your dreams will be empowering for the next day.
Nice wish. Thank you so much, Loretta,
Yeah,
for
thank you.
for for the talk. Thank you, everybody who were watching, and I will see you next times. And Loretta, I will see you in different context. We keep meeting in all kinds of situations. So see you soon.
Yes, thank you. Be
Bye.
be healthy and safe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.